Hi Burgate, my name is Matthew. I'm a recruitment consultant and the founder of a recruitment agency called Talent Seeker. We're based in Fordingbridge, actually just around the corner from you at the Glasshouse Studios. I hope you're enjoying your careers fair. What I wanted to do today was just give you a few takeaway tips that will help you when you're in the process of looking to find a job, find a career, and hopefully give you some steer in the right direction. First thing I want to talk about is your CV. I would always keep your CV down to kind of 1 or 2 pages, which I'm sure you guys will find pretty easy to do because obviously you've not worked at lots of different companies by this stage of your career. So yeah, keep it to 1 or 2 pages, keep it nice and concise. But the main thing as well I would say is don't fall into the trap of using the same old boring kind of generic terms when you're talking about your skills and experience that you'll bring to an employer. Don't put things like I'm a good team player, I'm hardworking, I'm proactive, basically the same things that 99% of other people will put. Try and think a little bit differently. So think about what can make you stand out from other people. So one thing might be, I'm a creative thinker, I come up with out of the box ideas, and this has helped with coming up with some brilliant solutions in studies that I've done or in previous jobs I've done. Or you might be a very strong analytical person, so you could say things like, I love data, I've got lots of skills when it comes to reporting, analysing and finding out results through using kind of data-driven methods. Another one might be something to do with sort of managing multiple tasks. So you might be able to say, I never kind of get flustered. I'm confident in dealing with lots of different questions that are coming at me in lots of different times. I'm able to prioritize those and come up with a workable solution and answers to kind of difficult challenges by putting things into an order that helps me get everything solved sort of in one go. So again, just thinking about kind of different skills that you can use when you're kind of describe the strengths and what you're going to bring to your potential employers. Another thing to think about is obviously interviews. So when you're going along to your interviews, one thing I always recommend to candidates that we send out for interviews is to do a quick audit of your social media platforms before you go. Now, this is only sort of something that we've recently done, and it's because we had somebody who was offered a job probably about 8 weeks ago. They were virtually offered the job at the final interview stage, and apparently the HR department of that company, after they'd done the final interview, they were ready to offer him the job. They decided to do a quick audit of his Facebook, and they found on there lots of swearing, lots of kind of controversial statements, some criticism of the government, etc. And it actually put them off to the point where they decided not to offer the job to that person and start the hunt again. So it's a really good job, it's a really good salary, but all because of he hadn't done a quick audit of his Facebook before he went along for the interviews. And the HR department had picked up on things, they decided not to offer him the job. So it is very, very, very important in this day and age. Do a quick check. If you've got like posts with swearing and things like that, then I would just remove those. Remove anything that's kind of would be seen as kind of offensive or controversial. Of course, if you've got photos of nights out with your mates and things like that, it's absolutely fine. Everybody has that type of thing. But if there's anything that you would think, actually, that's not going to make me kind of look very professional to a potential employer, then I would just do a quick audit of your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter, or whatever, and just take off anything that you think might kind of show you in a bad light, basically. So that's my takeaway tip number 2. Takeaway tip number 3 is always play to your strengths. Okay, so don't, a lot of people think, if I've got weaknesses, I should focus on my weaknesses to get them stronger. The problem with that is that you just end up being average at everything. I would focus on your strengths. If you look across at all the kind of great business leaders, your Richard Bransons and people like that, they're not brilliant at everything. They focus on their strengths, and then what they do is they bring people around them or recruit people into their business who are strong in the areas that they're weak in. So that's a really key thing to remember, is focus on your strengths. You know, some people are brilliant creatives, some people are brilliant at analytical stuff, some people are brilliant at writing, some people are brilliant at doing public speaking and things like that. So play to your strengths. Don't focus too much on your weaknesses, because at the end of the day, we can't all be brilliant at everything. Okay, the next tip for you today is what I call thinking forward. Okay, so what I mean by thinking forward is think about what the world's going to look like in 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years time. Think about the sectors that are going to be the real key things to be working in. Think about jobs where, you know, robots can't replace you. Just try and think forward and think, actually, I can see that that's going to be a real big growth industry. And then just keep that in mind for when you're sort of plotting or mapping out your potential career path. Just to give you an example, where the industry that I work in, recruitment, the fastest growing recruitment companies at the moment are the ones that are recruiting people in the green energy space. So, you know, everything's quite rightly so geared towards a greener world, a greener climate. So people working in that kind of green energy space is huge at the moment. So that's just one example. But yeah, tip number 4 is think forward. Think about the careers and the industries that are going to be thriving in 5, 10, 20 years time, and maybe map out some potential jobs prospects for you in those sectors. Okay, I hope that's useful. Number 5, final one for me really, is be yourself. So when you're going for interviews, when you're writing out your CV, just be yourself. You know, think about your strengths, what you can offer to companies, both from a personality point of view, as well as a skills and experience point of view. And when you're going for interviews, just try and be relaxed. Don't try and put on an act. Try and be somebody that you're not, because all you'll end up doing is kind of you'll get into a muddle, you'll get into a mess, you'll get really stressed, you'll get really nervous. Just try and be yourself, and actually that way you'll come across the best to the people who are interviewing you and hopefully potentially employing you. Just a couple of other quick things, some maybe tips for you when you are job hunting. Look around at sort of the local recruitment agencies in the area wherever you're living at the time. Sign up with a few of those. See if they can maybe get your foot in the door in a few types of companies or industries you'd be interested in working. Really important as well to do volunteering. It's a great way of getting your foot in the door. Just as an example, my wife did some volunteering at a local school, and a few months later they had an opportunity for a TA, and they got in contact with her and asked her to apply for the job, and she got it. And that was all through going in a few days a week, doing an hour or two's volunteering. But once you get your foot in the door somewhere and people like you, trust you, feel that you're a good person and a good addition to their team, it can work wonders. So don't be frightened to do volunteering in a company that you're interested in working at, or sector you're interested in working with. The most important thing when you're young is to get some really good experience, even if it's that's not paid for. Don't worry, the payment will come down the line. The main thing at your first stage of looking for jobs is to get good experience in good companies and kind of start building up that CV. The other thing as well is look at social media. There's loads of job boards on there. There's loads of sort of groups on there for people offering graduate schemes and jobs for young people. I'm sure you probably would do that anyway, but yeah, it's just another thing to think about as well. But that's it for me. Hope you got some good takeaway tips there. Have a fantastic careers fair. I think it's a brilliant idea that Burgate do this and add value to you all and help you sort of start thinking about your careers, because believe me, the time goes very quickly. So just make the most of it, and I wish you all the best of luck and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.